Hello, my name is Dr. Teresa Morris, and I'm the coordinator of the Pathway Distance Education Program here at the School of Social Work at California State University, San Bernardino. You can probably hear a bit of an accent, and yes, I'm originally from England, but I also lived in Australia before I came to California in 1989 to work with Cal State San Bernardino to set up the School of Social Work. But right now what I do is coordinate the distance education program. The idea behind this presentation is to give you an overview of the program and to give you information about how you can apply to the program. The Social Work Pathway Distance Education Program is an alternative option for students who cannot come to campus and take part in education in the traditional way in a face-to-face setting. So the mission of the Pathway program is to offer accredited professional education to students, as I say, who are unable to attend the main campus at Cal State. There are usually two reasons for this. One is obviously distance. We don't have a particular distance in mind. We simply ask you in your application to explain why the distance you have to travel makes it impossible for you to attend classes on campus. The other reason is that you may have responsibilities in your personal life that make it impossible for you to come to campus. Just as a third point, out-of-state students can apply, and then we have to check whether your home state gives us authorization to offer distance education in your state. If we have that authorization, then indeed you can apply to our program. The Pathway program offers professional social work education beginning at the lower division level and ending with the completion of a Master of Social Work. At the lower division, we offer advising on the courses that you would need to take to be able to apply to the Bachelor of Social Work at Cal State San Bernardino. Mostly you would take these courses at your local community college, although you could take these courses at CSUSB if you wished. The Bachelor of Social Work is a 3-year program, and it's a hybrid program, which means some of the courses are online and some of the courses are only offered on campus. The major courses are offered online. However, other courses that you need to take outside of the School of Social Work may or may not be offered online. You need to call this number here to get advising on how you would complete this program. The next step in the pathway is the Master of Social Work, and this is a completely online program that can be completed in 3 years. It costs more than the MSW on campus, and the total cost for the 3 years is $36,000. The final piece of the Pathway program is student advising. Since this is a distance learning program, we know that we need to work with students closely, and we make sure that we give you intensive student advising to ensure that you are successful. The primary focus of this presentation is the MSW. As I say, this is a 3-year program, and it has the same structure as the 3-year program that we offer on campus at CSUSB. You can find that structure at the School of Social Work website. Our program is a generalist program, and that means that all students get courses in both micro-social work practice and macro-social work practice. By micro-social work practice, we mean working with individuals, families, and groups. And we define macro-social work practice as working with organizations and communities at the local, national, and international level. In addition, in the final year of the program, the concentration year, we've designed a curriculum that answers 3 questions. What do we want our students to be? In what context do we want them to be able to work? And what do we want our students to become? And the answers to these questions for us are that we want our students to be change agents, We want them to be able to work in an interdisciplinary context, and we want them to become leaders. And so we've designed a curriculum around those answers. In addition, in the final year, students choose a specialization. This specialization could be a social issue, it could be a client population, or it could be a field of practice. And then in the final year, all assignments that the students do are on their specialization. All classroom courses are offered at a distance online. And in addition, there's a mandatory annual 3-day orientation on the CSUSB main campus in July. It will be at least 1 week after the July 4th week, and to get the specific dates, you would need to check the School of Social Work website. Also, we have the field placement component of the program, which requires a commitment of 16 hours per week in the second year of the program and 20 hours per week in the third year of the program. The field placement takes place in your community. We will either already have field placement options in your community, or we will come to your community to assess various sites to see if they can offer MSW level education. So how do you apply to our program? Well, what you need to do is go online and go to Cal State Apply at this website. Once you are there, you'll need to set up an account and you'll need to navigate your way to the Social Work Distance Education program under the San Bernardino Extended Education option. Once you get to there, you need to complete the application for the MSW and then complete the additional materials needed for applying to the Pathway Distance Education program. If you are an employee of a county children's services agency and you are interested in the Title IV stipend program, then you should also fill out that application. But for you, be aware that the stipend does not cover all the cost of the Pathway program, but goes a long way to subsidizing your costs. And the deadline each year is January the 15th. Well, how do you make your application strong? There are various elements in the application, and here's some advice about them. The major element is your personal statement, and we give you a series of questions to address. And it sounds very simple, but please address those questions. Quite often students don't, and that really lowers the rating of their personal statement. So please make sure you address every question and issue that we ask you to address, and we look very closely at these personal statements. You will also have a pathway application, and you will be asked to write answers to questions regarding your reason for the pathway, for needing the pathway program, and how you will be able to work your way through a distance learning situation. Please, again, pay attention, answer the questions, and give as much as you can on that. For both of them, please make sure you write well. Sometimes students don't, and it really, again, brings down your application. Regarding references, we ask for 3 references. One should be academic, and one should be from your work or a volunteer agency that you volunteer at. The third one could be one of those or someone else who is in a sort of professional role and can give us an understanding of how you might perform in a social work program. One thing you might want to think about is if you have a low GPA, you might want to get 2 academic references and maybe have them address why your GPA was low. That's often helpful. But anyway, as I say, 3 references. Make sure at least one is academic and one is from a work setting. We also have vignettes. We give you a couple of scenarios and we ask you to write about them and talk about what you would do. This gives a sense of what your understanding is when difficult issues come up with working with people and how you think about them. We don't expect you to have full-blown MSW expertise in this because you're just starting an MSW program, but we do expect you to have some kind of beginning of understanding how to address the issues we ask you about. Again, as I say, please make sure all of these documents are written well. We sometimes find that students write a personal statement very well, but when they get to the vignettes, they're not written well. They're sort of rushed, and I'm not sure I understand why that is, but again, it could bring down your rating. And then finally, there are prerequisites that you need to have to get into the program. Please look at the prerequisite sheet and identify whether you have those prerequisites and sort of show which courses on your transcript are the courses that meet these prerequisites. If you really pay attention and put some thought into these statements, you will have a strong application and you should do well in the application process. Here are the costs of the program. Basically, the cost is $600 per unit. And here you can see the costs over 3 years. So in the fall semester, you're doing 9 units, and so it costs $5,400. The same in the spring semester. In the second year, you're doing slightly more units, and so the cost is slightly more. 11 units for $6,600 and 10 units for $6,000. And then in the final year, in year 3, it's the same thing. It's still $600 a unit and $6,600 in the fall and $6,000 in the spring. So those are the costs of the program for you. And the total cost of the program comes out to $36,000 for the 3 years. This is slightly more than the cost of the campus program. It's hard to say what the cost of the campus program because of the different fees that come and go, but generally the campus program is in the high 20,000s. But this one, as I say, is slightly more expensive. But the other thing is that you get an iPad as well included. And the reason we give you the iPad is so that we know that you have the technology to take part in this program. You have the right technology to be able to take part in meetings, face-to-face meetings, not online meetings, and also you are able to get onto Blackboard and be able to perform the functions in Blackboard that are needed. Okay, so let's go on to the field practicum. How does that work? Well, first of all, let me introduce you to Shira Harris, who is the coordinator of field education for the Pathway program. She works with every single student in the program who is going to field, which is all the students. She will become your new best friend, and you will, during your first year, you will be meeting with her and working out with her where you will be placed when you go into your second year. So you will soon have contact with her when you get into the program. And then she stays in touch with you. She runs field seminars. She makes sure that everything's going well. And she's our hardworking expert on everything to do with field education. So during the first year of the program, as I say, you don't do field. In your second year is when you do your first year of field, and that's called the foundation year of field. You do 16 hours a week, and the focus is on learning about generalist practice, as I explained before. And you will have a broad range of assignments that help students develop competencies in the generalist model that we use. And this model has these stages: engagement, assessment, planning, implementation and evaluation, and termination and follow-up. So you start to become familiar on how to implement this model when intervening with clients. Now, we try to get you a field placement close to where you live, and Shira travels all over the place doing this and setting up your field placements. And we do everything we can to make it as convenient as possible for you. But that's the kind of thing you'll be working out with Shira when you meet with her in the first year of your program. In the advanced year, which is your third year, you will be doing 20 hours a week in the field. When this, you are going to be focusing more on advanced intervention skills in complex situations, and also developing your skills in those three roles I talked about: change agent, interdisciplinary, interagency social worker, and social work leader. So that's your field placement. Some students ask for hours in the evenings at the weekends, and this we cannot really guarantee this. We expect that you will make the time to complete these hours during the work week. This is really what the field placement is about, and so don't come into the program thinking that you'll be able to do all of this in evenings and weekends, because it's not likely that you will. We will certainly try to work with you, but assume that you're going to have to make accommodations for doing this field placement for the program during the work week. And in fact, in your application, we ask you for a field plan where you show us how you're going to make those accommodations. These are the kinds of field placement opportunities that you're likely to have. As you see, there's a wonderful range of opportunities for you: county mental health, working with veterans, working with children, working with the gay and lesbian population, immigrants and refugees, working in substance abuse treatment. So there is a range of experience available to you. Depending on where you live, we will see what's available with you. But these are the kinds of opportunities that we currently have. The other thing I want to say about field placement is this is not something that you set up. We set it up. You might have ideas of somewhere you'd like to be placed, and certainly let Shira know if you know of somewhere. But what has to happen is she has to go out and check on the agency. We have to have a formal contract with them, and we have to make sure that they have the correct supervision for you and the correct experiences for you. So you do not contact agencies directly. It just complicates things. We're always grateful for ideas about places that could become field placements, and as I say, if you have those ideas, then you would contact Shira, but do not, I just want to really underline, do not contact the agency directly, because there just are these procedures that we have to follow to make sure that we give you a good experience in field. So what are the components of field? Well, you have your hours actually working in the field placement that I've explained, but you also have a monthly online seminar which is designed to walk you through your field experience, assist you in making the connection between your classrooms and your field experiences, and it's a place for you to discuss what's going on in field with other students. You also are required to log in and complete some assignments that are there for you in field so that you're ready for these seminars. So this is all set up for you, and this is one area where you will have asynchronous assignments that you can do, but you will be scheduling a synchronous monthly meeting with your field liaison person, and that's again something that Shai will explain to you and work out with you. So that's a brief overview of the program and how to apply. I'm sure you have lots more questions, so here's where you need to go to ask more questions. You can phone the School of Social Work at this number and then choose the pathway option, or you can email the School of Social Work at this email and somebody will get back to you. So I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you apply to our program.